Welcome back, What You Doing, Weaver fans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We are celebrating Papa and all veterans. Let's watch. All right, thanks for coming back. What You Doing, Weaver fans? Well, right now, unfortunately, our audio and as you can see, the video kind of screwed up as well. So, well, there's that. And on top of it all, this day was a little rough in the morning. We had some things go badly, and then obviously at the editing stage, I found out that the video and the audio were messed up. So I thought I would take this opportunity to bring my dad, Papa, in to talk about his service. All right, like I said, I'm going to take this opportunity to bring my dad in and talk a little bit about the armed services that he was in. So, hello, Dad.
Hello, Andrew.
Or Papa, as the kids call you.
Or Papa.
Yeah. So, we are about to go to the Veterans Breakfast at Smithville and celebrate your armed forces. And what branch of the armed services were you in, Dad?
I was in the United States Air Force.
United States Air Force. What made you choose the United States Air Force?
If I didn't choose it, the country was going to choose it for me. In the lotto, I was number 10.
Oh, because there was, what do they call that?
Lotto system.
The lotto system, but other people call it what? It's completely blank in my mind right now. When you got forced to go over to fight.
Drafted.
The draft. That's right. How did I forget that? That's weird. All right, so I don't know why I forgot what it was called, the draft. But so you chose the Air Force, and when did you enter into the Air Force? Do you recall?
January 7th, 1970.
January 7th, 1970. That was a long time ago. And then you obviously went to boot camp, correct?
Well, they didn't call it boot camp because we didn't want to be like the Army. I think they had some other physical name for it.
But you went and got trained. Where'd you go get trained?
In San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, I didn't know it was in Texas for some reason. So after you got trained, I guess, do you arise to a rank during training? And if so, what was that rank?
You don't get the rank until you're established on the job. You'll get one stripe. Mm-hmm. That's airman.
So what was your job?
They needed mechanics, and so I signed up to be a mechanic, not knowing that during wartime, a mechanic also meant loading bombs on aircraft.
So your official title was mechanic or airman, or let me say that, your official title was airman, but then which was your rank, but then your title of your position was mechanic.
Weapons mechanic is what it said. I was hoping to work in the motor pool at the time, But when it's all said and done, I was also in the gun shop, so I got to use my hands in the gun shop, rebuilding the rack that held the bombs.
So, if I recall correctly, you also armed and disarmed bombs?
I didn't get too much into that, but yes, that's what I did before I went to the gun shop. Naturally, we don't think about arming or disarming, we just do our job.
For sure. So, what was your final rank?
I was just sergeant, 3 stripes.
3 star? Oh, so you're like a 1944.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Taillights.
yeah, you're like the 1944 taillights, the sergeant stripes. And so, where did you end up getting stationed?
Went from Texas to Colorado for technical training.
And then ultimately stationed over in.
And then from after tech school, went to North Carolina at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base and actually practiced what I was taught, being on the flight line, loading bombs. But this was still just practice time. It wasn't anything that was active.
And then during wartime, where did you end up? And in what year did you go there?
In September, I think, of 70.
Oh, so it was less than a year, and you were already in wartime.
Yeah, we just wasn't actively being announced in the news and everything like that.
So then where did you end up being stationed at that point?
I went to Ubon, Thailand, and was going to go. I did go there for a year. Everybody served for a year. I had, for whatever reason, I had orders to go, and me and another group of men had orders to go. But the way Seymour Johnson made it, you would pack a bag and you would go up and fly around and then come back. You always was doing practice runs. Well, while those guys were doing practice runs, I was actually getting orders to go to Thailand. So one day, the boys that stayed back behind and didn't have their orders yet to go to Thailand, they didn't pack their bags with nothing in them besides paper, because it was a waste of time, they thought, to put your clothes and put all your belongings in a suitcase just to go fly around in the United States. But one day, to their surprise, they were up in the air heading west towards Thailand.
And was that you or is that other ones?
That was the other ones that didn't have orders.
But you actually were prepared.
Yeah, I was actually prepared.
Good. That's a good dad.
Well, I don't know. The orders said I was going to Thailand, where the other guys didn't have that information.
Yeah. But you were prepared. That's good. And what year did you meet Yaya or Mom? My mom. Your wife.
Around February of 71.
And what was she doing over there, and how did you meet her?
She was in a restaurant type setting, only it was more of a sports bar for the GIs. They had live music from the Thai nationals that would bring their band into the club and try to sing English songs to the GIs that were in there.
And then you met up with Mom and hit it off, and you brought her back home. Eventually.
Can't say we hit it off, but yeah, eventually.
When did you finally exit the Air Force?
I was released on Santa Claus. Can't recall right now what they call it, but because it was close to Christmas, you were released 2 weeks early. Operation Santa Claus.
So they had it called Operation Santa Claus, where they allowed you to return to base or back to the United States?
I was being discharged out of the Air Force when I was in Maine.
Hey, there's bus 10.
And so Mom and I, your mother, got a U-Haul trailer and everything we owned fit in a U-Haul and drove back to
Hey, everybody wave at bus 10.
my little town, Fredericksburg, Ohio.
One little story that I recall from that is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but as you were driving back, you guys didn't have much money
Miss Pat.
and you only had so much to put in the car.
We love Miss Pat, that's right.
Is that when you returned, or was that another story?
That was when we returned.
Oh, so it was when you returned, and so you stopped at a gas station and you told the guy at the time you only have this much money to put in, and he ended up putting too much money in, correct?
Correct.
Too much gas in, rather. And so you had to take, they actually siphoned gas out of your tank and put it onto the ground, is that correct?
That's what they tried to do, yeah.
How ridiculous is that? Brings you back memories, doesn't it?
Yeah. He overfilled it, and I told him I don't have any more money. So he tried to siphon, and his supervisor come out and said, just let him go.
Did you have any of your colors on at that time?
No, he didn't know me from
No.
the next guy down the road.
All right, Dad. Well, we're going to listen into the video a little bit, but I appreciate you talking about what you went through and the fact that you served our country. So thank you, Dad.
You're welcome.
I love you.
Love you too. I think I would serve again if I had the opportunity.
I absolutely believe that.
Love you, son.
Love you too.
Thanks, Papa.
Oh, what'd you get there? I didn't see that. Hold that up, let me see it.
United States.
Oh, that's what they said. It was made on the school got a, what do they call that? 3D printer.
Oh,
Made here at the school, a 3D printer.
heard somebody comment on that.
Thanks for your service, Papa. Thanks for bringing back Yaya.
Thanks again, What You Doing Weaver fans, for taking this opportunity to watch and celebrate my dad's service with the Vietnam War in the Air Force. And thankfully, we were blessed to have him come back from fighting and bring Yaya, my mommy, with him back home, and we can continue to celebrate him. As we listen here, thanks for living life together in each one of these life moments, and we appreciate every single one of you, and see you in the next video.